Hey everyone, it's Tom from Mad Science Films, and today I'm going to be talking about what it's actually like to work in the television and indie film industry. So how do you actually get into the industry? So my route was maybe typical for some people, maybe not for other people, especially in indie film. I studied a degree. After I finished my degree, I done some indie film work in Cardiff. I worked on 7, 8 indie films. And then I got a call off a friend of mine who was working for Talkback Thames at the time. He said they're filming X Factor in Cardiff. Then I went on to work in X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, and Idiot Abroad. Got to dance, Publicly Come, and many others. Several dozen short films, indie films. Depending on what you're working in, the days are very different. And one particular day, I went from picking up coffees for everyone when I was doing running to picking up talent from airports and driving around London. You know, the days are so varied and everything in between. Obviously, if you do something more specialised like camera work, obviously you're going to be spending all your time with the cameras, setting up equipment, you know, moving equipment. In television, they're very set days. You know, you have early call times and you're there all day. In film, they're typically 6-day filming weeks. But on the 7th day, you know, it's really more of a rest day than you going out and seeing the city. When I worked in television and film, I travelled all around the UK. I travelled absolutely everywhere. On my rest days, I didn't really get to see much of the city wherever I was staying because you're just resting. It's a real intense, full-on day. They're really long hours. Now, I was just looking at the call time for Little Monster, which we filmed a couple of years ago, which is out now, actually. You know, we had a unit call, which means, you know, when everyone's called in on set at 8:30, and wrap time on this particular day was 10 o'clock at night. So you think that's a lot of hours. In this industry, there is no 9 to 5. You're there all day, every day. There's a misconception when you work in TV and film that you're just mingling with stars, you're doing all glamorous stuff, but a lot of it's actually quite dull. You know, you're sitting around setting up lights, setting up sets, camera assisting, production running, whatever you're doing, but a lot of it is a lot of downtime actually in a day. You're filming 10-hour days, you're probably only going to get 6 minutes of usable footage a day. You can see like how a feature film, you know, 1.5 hour feature film would take so long to film, and by the end of filming people are pretty exhausted, so you can understand how these film stars take months and months out just to sort of recharge their batteries. So level entry position in TV is minimum wage. You are doing a lot of hours, so obviously your pay is actually pretty good, and that's sheer volume of hours you're doing. Of course, when you get more specialised, your pay goes up. It's a lot different in indie film. A lot of indie film, especially low budget indie film, you're working for free or expenses, which sounds like a bit of a crappy deal, but you really need experience. If you're working in TV and film, experience is valuable because you don't want to be there on set not knowing what you're doing. So get as much experience you can, get involved in little projects, even if it's some guy filming something in a park. Actually, yeah, that turned out to be a really bad experience. Don't do stuff with guys in parks. The pros and cons of working in the industry: you get a lot of experience, you get loads of experience, you get to meet cool people, and you know, you get to do a job that's different. It's not an office 9 to 5, you're not sat at the same 4 walls. It's such a varied job. Like, I don't think I ever did the same thing twice. So if you're a creative person, it's great to be around these creative sort of people. Cons: unfortunately, with the job, it's very unsociable hours. We were up in Scotland, and we were filming one leg of Britain's Got Talent. That filming ended, then we were a film was being made up in Scotland. We thought we were coming home, we were offered the work, you couldn't really turn it down because you'd never know where it's going to lead. So then we ended up staying on another film, so I was meant to be away for, you know, half a week, end up away for 2 weeks. So that kind of thing happens quite often, which is great for your experience because it just means you build your experience up really quickly, but it kind of means, you know, your personal life kind of takes a bit of a back seat. The hours, like I said, the great thing is they are financially, it's great because you're working loads of hours, but the bad side is you know, it is pretty grueling. After a week of filming, it really does affect you. You know, you're tired, you're a bit miserable. Tensions rise on sets towards the end of shoots. That's where people tend to lose their minds and arguments and stuff kind of happen. You've seen many an argument on a film set, by the way. They're hostile places. For me, it was a fantastic experience, one I wouldn't change. You know, I met a lot of friends, I had so many experiences. I've got experiences I can speak to my children about. Obviously meeting celebrities is great, but for me it was more getting that real world experience. You know, you get to see things day to day that people would never see, and unless you're in that industry, it's really difficult to talk to other people about. So I hope that video was some sort of help to someone and gives you a little bit of insight into the television and film industry. Please get back to me, let me know what you thought about it, let us know about your journey, and obviously don't forget to subscribe and like.